Hello.
Good morning or afternoon to everyone.
Hello.
We're back on the Zoom for our midweek
On the
update.
Zoom. We're
Uh,
on the Zoom.
yeah, it's like the Facebook, right? No one says that. Uh, we have a few announcements we want to share and do some reflection as we look towards Sunday. And I'll start because the first event we want to highlight is happening tomorrow, April 20th at 6:30 p.m. David Radcliffe with New Community Project is going to be sharing with us titled Around the World in 60 Minutes. It will be a 60-minute presentation that he's going to be sharing with us and sharing in the work of New Community Project. Let me just read just a part of their of sort of their vision statement. They are a nonprofit organization with a big goal to change the world, to provide resources that challenge us, experiences that change us, and a community that gives us hope. Our focus is on environmental sustainability and social justice, both of which are essential for a peaceful human community. So come out, there'll be light refreshments. He'll share some pictures from trips. I know many in our congregation have done some new community things related, but whether you know something or you don't, it should be a nice time together. 6:30, we'll be meeting in the Narthex area.
The next thing we want to highlight, you can look and see in the newsletter. So I'm not going to give a lot of information because there's a very helpful and meaningful write-up in our newsletter. But this Saturday, April 22nd at 2 p.m., Heidi Doubt Raymer and David Doubt will be presenting Heidi's book, Her Words, My Voice. It's a poignant story of Karen's experience of trauma. And the book will be on sale there. So we invite you to consider coming and being in that space with Heidi and David and to engage the topic. It's for ages 13 and older. There's no registration or any kind of fee here in our local public library.
And the third of the three headlines we wanted to lift up is Sunday afternoon, Sunday the 23rd is coming Sunday in the afternoon, Laura Stone's installation service as our district executive minister. And that is being hosted in our space, but it is a service for all in our district. And it'd be a time of worship and celebration and blessing for Laura in her new role as district executive minister.
We thought that as we move through Eastertide, that we would continue with the format that we started during Lent. Eastertide and Lent are the same length of time. It leads us into Pentecost. And there are so many rich stories to consider. And so this coming Sunday, Kurt will move us through thoughtfully the Road to Emmaus story. And so for today, we're going to take just the first couple verses of that. So this is from Luke 24, verse 13 through 16. Now, on that same day, two of them were going to a village called Emmaus, about 7 miles from Jerusalem, and talking with each other about all these things that had happened. While they were talking and discussing, Jesus himself came near and went with them, but their eyes were kept from recognizing him. The question that I'm posing to my two friends here on this screen and to all of us who are willing to think about this for a little bit is, what keeps us personally, what keeps me personally from recognizing the presence of God, that keeps our eyes from recognizing the divine?
my first thought is all the times that I get in the way, in the way of my own in the way of my own vision. So I distract myself, or I get caught up in things that feel important or overwhelming in the moment. It's when I lose my ability to be attentive, sensitive, open. Busyness can do that. Anger can do that. Grief can do that. Any number of things. And then when I do see the divine, I shouldn't be, but I'm kind of surprised. Like, oh, maybe it's been there all along, and I just, and maybe that's the walk back to the story. Jesus is with them all along in this walk that they're taking.
I'll just share two that I think are on they're with what Kurt is talking about getting in the way, but they both just happened this week. And I think, busyness was the first one. And I just was like, I have so many things I need to get done. I don't know if I have time to go to this VIA at Manchester. And I almost didn't make it, and I made it, and what a incredible experience of the divine and hearing that presentation. And certainly
one of the best things of the week for me too.
Yeah,
one of the best things.
Yeah, I could have sure, and there's been times where I missed that opportunity, missed an opportunity because of that. So yeah, busyness or getting in my own way. And then the other is, a while back, there was a huge lump of dirt that had been brought here from the school. And Dave Good in particular had a vision for something out there. And while I was supportive, I couldn't really see it. And as there was a huge lump of dirt out there from all of the rain and other things, I thought, what have we done to the space? There's a huge lump of dirt, and I just, I've been out a couple of different times, but I just went out there yesterday, and Dave and a number of people from our church had worked extensively over there, and just, yeah, it was just a beautiful moment again this week of seeing the divine, especially sort of just from this lump of unmolded, dirt.
Mm. I am in agreement with both of you. When I get in my own way with worry, and often my worries are unfounded, but I worry anyway, or just a sense of weight of overwhelm. And yeah, it stays up here. I mean, this is where I feel it. I feel it all right here. And I have become such a proponent of breathing. And every time that we as pastors or other folks in the church invite you into taking a deep breath, it is serious work. Our breath brings us back. And when you do a deep breath, you have to think of nothing else except that breath, imagining it going all the way down into, I don't even know the anatomy parts, but it's using deep muscles that we don't usually use for our normal breath. Our normal breath is just up here and it's shallow, but to make it go into the body, you have to be present for it. And it is a remarkable holy design in our beings to come back to center. We don't even have to, you don't have to say a mantra or close your eyes and say Om or whisper a prayer. The breath itself is a prayer. And when I come back to that space, it feels like something clears in front of me, and I can see again. Yeah, it's, we get into our storytelling like the two persons on the road to Emmaus. Well, did you hear this? And what about this? And I saw this, and it's all here. And I remember the words of Jesus of loving the Lord our God with all of our minds, with all of our hearts, with all of our souls, and with all of our bodies, that coming together, not keeping it all up here, moves us into that sacred space, as Kurt said, that's there all the time. It's been here all the time.
Amy, I really like that breath reminder, both circling, as you talk about it personally, but circling back to the stories of Jesus' first appearances to the disciples. And he says, peace be to you. And then he breathes the Holy Spirit on them.
Yeah.
So the breath is our breath, but as I'm thinking about it, as you're talking, I was thinking about breath given to us, that sort of, that God's breath deep into us as well. And it fits with these post-resurrection stories so well.
Yeah. Thank you both for thinking about this with all of us. Yeah. I hope everyone has a meaningful rest of the week as the weather does what it's going to do. Dress appropriately for all the changes. Scarf, no scarf, thick scarf, whatever. And be well. Be well.